Welcome everyone to this afternoon session. Our first speaker this afternoon is Sejong Kwak from Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. And the title of his talk is The Gonality Sequence of a Smooth Projective Curve and the Stages of Higher Secant Varieties. Let's welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for invitation and introduction. My talk is in the screen, gonality sequence and the CGG of higher secant varieties. My talk has a slightly different flavor from the other talks. Yeah, because this is contained in the algebraic geometry, the CGGs, and the projective geometry. So slightly different from other bidirectional geometry. Anyway, let me start equations defining algebraic curves. We work over complex number field. Given C smooth projective variety curve of genus G, it is a line bundle on curve. Riemann says if degree of the line bundle on C bigger or equal to 2 times G plus 1, then it is very ample. And this gives an embedding of C into projective space, okay, defined by the global section of L. Okay. And Castello along 100 years before from now. Castello also proved if degree L is bigger or equal to 2 times G plus 1, then embedding is projectively normal. Projectively normal means maybe the affine cone of the curve, the vertex is a normal point, or algebraically, projective coordinate ring of curve C is equal to section ring here. For any case, this homogeneous coordinate ring contains subring of this section ring in general. But if they are equal, it is called projectively normal. Okay? That is just algebraic definition. And later, David Mumford, Sam Donat, and Takao Fujita proved degree L bigger equal to 2G plus 2, then defining ideal, maybe we can say this one. Yeah, defining ideal is generated by quadratic equations. Yeah, this is a long-standing history of a curve. What has happened when it is embedded in a large projective space? So, next question. At that time, the relations of the minimal generators, which are quadratic equations. Okay, so yes, so in a general setting, X projective variety, L very ample line bundle, giving embedding X in a projective space. The section ring is always a finitely generated graded module. And by Hilbert's CGG theorem, the section ring has a unique minimal free resolution with the grading preserved in the following. Okay. R is a given section ring of the projective variety, then this is free module whose bases are all generators, their relations here. But this should stop at most R's step. What is R? R is embedded space PR here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the originally Hilbert proved. Okay. So, for example, EP is the summation of this one. This is a piece CGG of weight Q. Okay. Okay. So if we further assume higher cohomology of X, L to M tensor, M is bigger equal to 1, this cohomological assumption make our situation more simple. Okay. So KPQ XL, it is piece CGG of weight Q, just computed by this cohomology, HQ minus 1 cohomology of this wedge of this vector bundle times L. Okay, sorry. Maybe here is the okay, yeah. But this kind of cohomological assumption is very simple. In many cases, so this kind of assumption is very reasonable. So that this CGG, even if it is defined algebraically, but usual cohomology group give us this equality. Okay. Let me see, give a simple example. The most simplest one is a rational cubic curve embedded in P3 by this Veronese map S, T. Yeah, S, T. It's S, T, S cubed, S squared T, S T squared T cubed. Okay. The image is generated by 3 quadrics, and their linear relations can happen. Okay, this is relations. The quadric equations has 2 relations, and the defining ideal generated by 3 quadrics. So minimal free resolution of a rational cubic curve given by this. Okay, this is matrix x0 minus x1 plus x2, x0 minus x1 plus x2, x1 minus x2, x3 is the second column. Okay. But this number minus 3 minus 2 should appear because we are considering graded morphism with grading preserved. So minus 2, minus 3 should happen. If we remove this one, then no meaning because we are always considering graded category. Okay. Yeah, so let's start different method to compute causal cohomology group. Okay. In general, X is a projective variety over complex number field. Capital S is a polynomial ring defining projective space. So causal complex is very well known. And in the middle, we can consider homology group, and their homology is a complex vector space homology group K, I, J, X, V. What is V? V is the vector space defining projective space. So we define beta I, J is the dimension of this homology group at I, J. But algebraic computation give us equality of dimension of a Tor module at the P. That is typo, I plus j here, not p. Okay. So beta 1, 1 is number of quadratic equations of ideal. Beta 2 plus 1 is number of linear relations on defining quadratics. Okay. So for example, KP1 is maybe a homology group in the middle here. Okay. Yeah. This kind of causal homology and its systematic theory was developed by Mark Green, 1980s. Yeah, Mark Green. But algebraically, this is very clear. But geometrically, we should interpret how to compute these numbers. That is the main issue. And what is the underlying geometric meaning for these numbers? Okay? That is just the starting point of this area in 1980s. Even if this kind of topics began to study from Italian school, for example, Castellovo and Fano and many other people studied this kind of projective geometry for the first time, but more theoretically, Mark Green started for this topic by way of this causal homology theoretically. Okay. So this is a Betti table for given variety X. Okay, so this is the first law, second law, or this law. This is matrix. Each numbers are projective invariant, but actually very, very hard to compute. So this table gives us this R is the height of the Betti table, Castellovo-Mumford regularity, and this triangle is a projective dimension of this projective coordinate ring. This is an algebraic side. Okay? Algebraically, we can understand, but it is very hard to compute this R. Castello-Mumford regularity. This is also long-standing topics for commutative algebraists. Our combinatorics, projective geometry, and commutative algebra, this Castello-Mumford regularity is a very common topic for them. Okay. In this Betti table, okay, Betti table is given for each variety embedded in a projective space. So what is the main problem? Interpretation of vanishing or non-vanishing Betti numbers in terms of intrinsic invariant. This Betti table depends on projective embedding on for given variable line bundle, but variable line bundle allow for given variety. So these Betti numbers are projective invariant depending on the embedding, but this structure invariant, intrinsic invariant may be encoded in this Betti table. Upper bound, low bound of the Betti numbers, they are main problem. So this is the first non-trivial theorem due to Mark Green, 1984. First strand. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, this first strand is very important in geometry. So Mark Green, this is the first non-trivial example. Beta p, 1, 0 if p is bigger than equal to codimension of x, and beta e, 1 is non-zero if and only if given variety is contained in a variety. X is a variety of minimal degree. Minimal degree is codimension plus 1. degree lower bound is coefficient plus 1. So x is minimal degree variety, then beta e comma 1 is non-zero. Okay. However, we expect more precise information called the conality conjecture in the quadratic strand for smooth curve due to Lorentz Green-Rajasfeld conjecture this conality 1984. Okay. So many people do not acquainted with this variety minimal degree. So variety minimal degree, long time ago, Del Vecchio Bertini classified this variety, but some part is not so clear. So David Eisenberg and Joe Harris reproved this 1987. Their paper on varieties of minimal degree or centennial account. In this paper appeared in Baudouin book, 1987. They reprove this classification. Quadratic hypersurface, Veronese surface is very clear. So scroll is only one example of a minimal degree variety. So let me explain this by picture like this one. Yeah, examples of rational normal scrolls. Okay. Each rational normal curve parameterized by P1 and just same T, they connect to the line. So this is one-dimensional family of lines. This is one-dimensional family of planes. This kind of very, very simple object are a variety of minimal degree, except the trivial case, quadratic hypersurface or Veronese surface in P5. Only two are very, very clear, except those examples. This is the unique example of a variety of minimal degree. Okay. Okay, let's introduce conality conjecture. What is conality? Conality is invariant, not depending on embedding. D1 is a minimal degree of the map pi. Pi is a morphism from curve to P1. Okay, so the same minimum number of D such that G1D linear system of dimension 2, degree 2 exists on a curve. So this is clearly intrinsic invariant, not depending on the embedding. So this conality has upper bound by equilibrium theory. This is lower bound. In this case, the curve is the general curve with the maximal conality in the moduli space of curves. This case very special, hyperelliptic curve in the moduli of genus G. Okay. So conality conjecture, Green-Rajasfeld 1984. If degree is very big enough for variable line model L, then KP1C, this is a Betti number in the quadratic strand. Non-zero if and only if P should be in this range here. Okay, this conjecture has been resolved in many cases. Case by case, this conjecture has been trying to prove for many people. Afrod, Marian Afrod, Rumanianga, Claire Boazeng, Ayn Rajasfeld, Kabil Parkas, and Michael Kemeny. They have contributed to this conjecture. But finally, Ayn Rajasfeld completely proved this conjecture 2016. using a small variant of method used by Claire-Boising. Claire-Boising prove some cases, and Boising developed some method by using Hilbert scheme of points when she tried to prove Green conjecture. So this is the history. Okay. So non-vanishing part. Non-vanishing part. In this conjecture, which part is very hard? Non-vanishing part is very, very simple. So very hard part is if P is bigger than this number, then this Betty number should be 0. That is also very, very hard so far for a long time. Okay? If P is this range, then this is non-zero. But P is outside of this range here, then this should be 0. But the vanishing part is very hard because, let me show this, because this given curve is contained in Y. Y is the rational normal scroll of Y of dimension D1. Let me see. This is P1. This is curve C, I, G1, D1 here. So each 5 point here, then this, how many points? P1 point here. So C L is degree very big. Then this D1 point is linearly independent point here. So this their span is P D1 minus 1. So this is P1 more linear space here. Okay, so this embedding give us this scroll containing this is C here. This is Y. Yeah, geometrically we can imagine Y, how to obtain Y. Yeah, but this linear system gives us a rational normal scroll Y, which contains this curve C. Okay, but that is just imagine Y. But algebraically, we can give a very strict proof. This one, D1, L1 is the line bundle corresponding to linear system G1, D1. So this is very typical line bundle decomposition. L is decomposed into L1 times L2. Their global sections has basis S1, S2. This is T1 to T, this subscript. So let's construct this matrix, which is 2 by this number matrix. This is a very nice matrix. David Einzelmuth prove 2 minors of M is contained in defining ideal of C. That's why C contained in the zero locus of 2 minors. That is the scroll. That is rational scroll. So, yes. C is contained in rational normal scroll of between the T1, this one. Then beta P1 Y always beta P1 C. But this is always non-zero by Mark Green KP1 theorem. So this should be non-zero. So non-vanishing part is very elementary. So many people try to prove vanishing part for a long time. And case by case, Alfred Boaseng, Ayn Rajasfeld, and Gabriel Farkas, Michael Kemeny, they contribute a lot. But recently, 2016, they proved. Okay. And this is 4z minus 4 is optimal bound, except one case. This is published this year. Yes. Yeah, the gonality conjecture proved by Ayn Rajasfeld, 2016. But at that time, we assume degree is big enough. But what is optimal lower bound? So degree L is bigger or equal to 4z minus 4, then the conjecture true, except this one example. We can compute this Bethe table by using Macaulay 2. If gonality conjecture true, then this number should be 0. But by computation, this is non-zero. So that line bundle violates gonality conjecture. We can compute by Macaulay 2 computer algebra system. Okay, so far, okay, so we now completely understanding the Bethe table of smooth algebraic curve when the degree is bigger equal to big enough. For example, degree L 2 times G plus 1 plus L big enough. Then this is Bethe table, and gonality and the genus are encoded in the Bethe table, even if this Bethe table heavily depends on the embedding. But the intrinsic invariant of curve, two intrinsic invariant of curve are gonality and genus. The two numbers are encoded in the Bethe table like this. Yes, so far we are completely understanding the structure of a Bethe table here. Okay, so next topic is secant variety of the project variety. Secant variety is in somewhat complicated, but K secant variety is union of linear space spanned by K plus 1 point and their Zariski closure. This secant variety is very important nowadays in tensor geometry or applied algebra geometry nowadays. But in our viewpoint, CGG and the geometry area, this is also very important nowadays. Yeah, this K secant variety has no K plus 1 equation vanishing on this one. Okay, yeah, this is very important but very elementary. No defining equation of degree K plus 1 vanishing on the secant variety. So K plus 1's law, it should be possibly first non-trivial linear CG of K plus 1 starting from equation of degree K plus 2. So K plus 1, this number is the number of equations of degree K plus 2 vanishing on secant variety. Okay, so secant variety has this shape of Bethe table. Okay, for curve case, we have this filtration. Sigma 0 is the original curve, sigma 1, sigma k minus 1, sigma k plus 1. blah, blah, blah. This is filtration. And dimension counting. Sigma k has 2k plus 1 this dimension. Singularity is this one. Yeah, singularity is very important in this area. Okay. Okay. But the Ullery conjecture is sigma k has normal singularity. This is long-standing, non-known, just less than 20 years. This is conjecture given by Ullery. In the Ullery prove this normal singularity for k equal 1, only 1. The she conject this may be the general case. And the fact is this one. Arwin, Wembo, Chin-Hyung, Park prove 2020. This secant variety has a normal Dubois singularity. Okay? So, and the Dubois singularity is in a sense somewhat very good singularity, but very large. For inside the rational singularity, logo-canonical, blah, blah. But the more precise information on the singularity of secant variety depends on the genus. Genus 0, then rational singularity, so Fano. Genus 0, genus 1, logo-canonical, so this is Calabi-Yau, and genus bigger equal to 2, then no logo-canonical. They proved like this one, yeah. So curve case, the singular locus of sigma k is sigma k minus 1, and this is a normal, in particular Dubois type, and this kind of very nice cohomological table. So we proposed about 3 years ago, my PhD student and myself raised this conjecture, just a generalized conjecture conjecture. For secant variety case, this is the first non-trivial strand starting from k plus 2 degree equations. So this is our conjecture here. Kp, comma k plus 1 of secant variety is non-zero if and only if this one. Yeah. But at that time we were very nervous because we are sure someone clearly proved this rapidly as soon as we announced this conjecture. So we also try to prove this. Okay, yeah. As like the original conjective conjecture, a non-vanishing part is very easy to prove. This means in this range, P is 1 less than equal to this number, then this is non-zero, and P is bigger than this number. This should be 0, but non-zero part is very simple. Zero part is very, very hard, as in the case of the original conjective conjecture. Yeah. Why? How to guess this number? How to guess this number? Because the conjective sequence firstly involved in this CGG of secant variety of curves for the first time. So this is a conjective sequence, linear system of dimension k plus 1 of degree t k plus 1. This t k plus 1 is the minimum degree whose global section, whose linear system has dimension k plus 1. If k equals 0, then it is usually the conjective curve. K equals 2, k equals 3. Yeah, so conjective sequence we can define. And many algebraic curve theorists compute this cardinality sequence by using Brillet theory. Yeah. For example, H. Lange, Jim Martens compute many cases. General curve, hyperelliptic curve, trigonal curve, blah blah. Okay. So similarly, this linear system gives us this line bundle decomposition and consider one generic matrix of this size. Maximal minor of this matrix give us K plus 2 linear ACM variety of codimension of this one. So very similarly, secant variety of this Betti number is not equal to 0 because of this inequality. Very similar argument. We can show non-vanishing Betti numbers. But outside, this should be 0. This is very hard problem. Yeah. However, the vanishing part is very hard to prove. So go to our main theorem and the idea in this talk. Okay. Yeah. This kind of line bundle decomposition always give us this one generic matrix whose two minors vanishing on given variety curve. But let me see. Okay. And this matrix, one generic matrix, some point P is curve C, rank is 1. So rank of M, L1, L2, lambda 1, P1, lambda K plus 1, PK plus 1. Yeah. This is by subadditive of the rank in the linear algebra in undergraduate level. This is P plus 1. No. K plus 1. Yes. Yeah, but this is, K plus 2 minors. So, all K plus 2 minors of M vanish is this number. Yeah. But this is a general number of K plus K secant variety of C. Yeah, this is a general point in sigma Kc. And so this vanishes on sigma Kc here. This one, yeah. This is typical argument developed by David Eisenberg a long time ago, maybe 1990 maybe. Yeah, this property here. So for example, rational curve, higher secant variety is very simple, just one strand. Elliptic curve and their higher secant variety, Klaus Fullich and Pohn Bothmer compute precisely, and this Betti number, 2004. It is really generalization of elliptic curve. Elliptic curve has this Betti table when k equals 0. And higher secant variety of the elliptic normal curve is also same shape. 1, 1, they are equal, all equal. This is Gorenstein type Betti table. This, for the first time, fully Bothmer computed very successfully. But genus G is bigger or equal to 2, very, very complicated. Yeah, to understand the different equations. So genus 0, the most simplest. Genus 1 case, their higher secant varieties. Second, next simplest at the table, but genus 2 or bigger. Genus 2 or bigger, very, very hard, but Lawrence Ayn, Wenbu Niu, and Jin Hyung Park, who was my PhD student a long time ago, they proved this fact. So from this fact, now we understand the first non-trivial strand of K plus 1 here. Linear CGG should go up to L step, and all this is 0 here. We don't know what happened this part. K plus 2 times genus G part. In their paper, they proved this fact. And K equal 0 case, long time ago, Ayn Rajasfeld to prove this fact 1989. But this is exact generalization of curve case to higher secant variety curve case here. But this, but originally, Jessica Siedman and Peter Biermeier and Yang proved the case of K equal 1, first case. K equal 1 means 2 secant varieties occur, then starting from cubic generators. Yes. And Jessica Siedman, Peter Biermeier conjectured the general case. And finally, Ayn Niu Park prove this one. Okay? So in this result, only L involved in the main theorem. L is the number. Okay? In this theorem, we do not assume degree is big enough. Just this degree is just equal to 2G plus, this is the dimension of secant variety, plus L. Then secant variety is generated by equation of degree K plus 2 here, and only their linear relations can happen up to L step. The other relations never happen. From here to here, the simplest at the table, then the remaining part is this part. This is K plus 2 times genus G part. Not yet. No one knows at the time. So after this paper published, Lawrence Ayn raised question, what can we say about the remaining part? Remaining part means this K plus 2 times G part. Okay? And what kind of geometry of curve would be involved? Here, no invariant. Here, right? Yes. No intrinsic invariant here. So, we get this result. Junho Choi, my PhD student, Jin Hyung Park, former PhD student, and myself, archive. This is an answer about Lawrence Ayn question. What kind of geometry involved in the remaining part? Our answer is connarity sequence involved and completely determine the shape. I have 5 minutes or 7. Yeah. So our answer is conality sequence should be involved in to determine the shape of the remaining part like this one. Okay. But in our theorem, we assume degree of the variant alignment big enough. But this result, they don't assume the degree is big enough. Just of this. But we assume this variant alignment has a big enough because following the conality conjecture, the remaining part we can understand in terms of invariant called conality sequence. This one. Okay, yeah. By Brillouret theory, the conality sequence is known for general curve. Moreover, it is known hyperelliptic or trigonal curve. So, okay, so just after Lawrence Irwin, Wembo, New, Jinyoung Park's paper, this K plus 2 times genus G, this box was unknown, and this last law always non-zero. The second, the last one, the original conality of curve D1 involved here, D2 involved, dk plus 1 involved here. Yeah. This is, in some sense, interpretation of so that this is K plus 2. For example, this is a genus. Genus is fixed. If we assume degree of the line bundle very big, then of course K plus 2 is big. Genus G here. Then maybe general curve like this one. This is 0. This is non-zero. Okay, this is genus G. And this is K plus 1 here. This is 2K plus 2 minus G here, plus 1 here. This part, this is non-zero here by using Irwin New theorem. So here, but our result guarantee, except this one, this should be 0. This is 0. Okay. This is the shape of the Bethe table of the remaining part. So let's go to the proof. This is example of hyperelliptic case. Hyperelliptic case conality sequence is 2 di is 2 times I because the special line linear system. This one G1 2 times I determine the sequence. Trigonal case, yeah, here, this is should 0 because T1 is 2, T1 is 3. That is 1. Okay, so let me finish in 5 minutes. That is a non-vanishing part. This is a vanishing part. But this numbers looks very complicated, so we change our notation, P star and Q star. So, conality sequence is deeply related to the positivity of canonical line bundle, like this one. Okay. Okay. So actually, the conality sequence imply how positive of the canonical line bundle. Okay. Let me finish in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so, and this is symmetric product of curves. Okay, and very simple vector bundle S k plus 1 comma L and N k plus 1 comma L. These are two very basic line bundles on the symmetric product. Okay, and the delta k plus 1 is the divisor on the symmetric product corresponding to this big divisor. This is a big divisor. It's pairwise equal. Big delta ij is this one. I component and j component are equal. This is pairwise diagonal. And this is sum of this one, big diagonal. Okay, this is line bundle, very well-known line bundle here. And this is also a divisor here. Okay, this is, this is the key information, homology of this basic two line bundles computed by this one. Yeah, this is very key fact I used here. Okay, the second bundle over this one. Second bundle is this map is the divisor comma point should go to this divisor here. So they are isomorphic. This is a universal family of divisor in ck plus 1 here. So we can define secant bundle of rank k plus 1 on ck plus 1. Okay. And the fiber is this one. Yeah, this is very elementary information when we start to study symmetric product of curves. Okay. Okay. So the causal cohomology group of KPQ is this one. Yes. So this typical long sequence, we should tensor of this vector bundle, and exactness unchanged. Okay, so okay, so if this higher cohomology is 0, if this part and this part are 0, but this part 0 is very simple by inductive argument. This is very, very hard to prove, this part, the idealship involved. Usually the cohomology vanishing of idealship is very, very hard, yeah, in algebraic geometry. Okay? Okay. So, this is resolution of singularity. This is projectivized secant bundle over ck plus 2 here. Okay, the key idea is this one. Sigma k is a singular locus of sigma k plus 1. Their inverse image of this desingularization gk is a prime divisor. And the following Dubois type condition of the higher direct image. Okay? Okay. So from now on, this is the typical cohomological techniques. So I'm vanishing here, the idealship tensor by vector bundle can be moved to projective bundle and come down, can be moved here, blah, blah, blah. That is a very usual techniques in cohomology. But the key idea is this one. Here. The, sigma k is codimension 2 singular locus of sigma k plus 1. But this in this resolution of singularity, the inverse image is divisor. So Okay, this is typical one. Okay, so the homology vanishing of some ideal sheaf tensor by vector bundle can be moved here, can be moved here, can be moved to up and down. So we are arriving here. This is our main techniques here. Okay. So from here to here, we use typical Luray spectral sequence. Okay, here. And let me say where to use the condition degree bigger than equal to 0. A variant of Fujita-Cell vanishing theorem due to Einrad-Spelt 2015. This is vanishing theorem. Usually, vanishing theorem gives us some information. So this is a vanishing theorem. Applying this, we arrive here. Okay, and if we show this one, then the last sentence we should show this is 0, but this sheaf is 0, then we are done. So here, claim this one. So the fiber-wise, we can compute this one, but this has a dimension Q star. So this should be 0. This is our idea. Yes, yeah. In some sense, very typical idea. Remember the diagram. We are starting from here. This is the singularization of a singular locus here. This is divisor. Up, down. From here, we interpret the cohomology vanishing in terms of the conarity sequence. Okay? So our method also gives a different proof on the original conarity conjecture using the CPM variety, sigma 1. Yeah, our argument is very general, but the special case k equal 1, then we recover the original conarity conjecture. Okay, yeah. So from here to here is a general attempt to go, but here to here, very hard. But here we involve the conarity sequence for the first time, and finally we are done. This is the sketch proof. Okay, yeah, this is all. Thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much for the talk. Any questions? Okay. If there's no question, then let's thank our speaker again.